I'm at Buffalo Willow, and of course I'm at this incredible restaurant which is called Willow Ranch, and it's absolutely lovely. But I have an incredible guest, and it's somebody that we're very, very familiar with for many, many years. And I have the honor to be with Lloyd Aron Douglas. Well, that's not really a name you know, but you're going to know this name. Now let me introduce you to Lloyd Aron Douglas.
You doing good?
How are you?
I'm doing fine, dear.
I'm absolutely shocked. I'm sitting here totally shocked. I have seen many, many different Elvis Presleys, but you are actually split image. I mean, he's got the hair, and he doesn't have any makeup on. He has nothing. You are absolutely amazing.
Thank you very much.
How did you, and when did you realize that you were kind of like Elvis Presley?
Well, I'd say it started about 3.5 years ago, if I can recall.
Oh, so it's quite recent.
Some of the boys were out in this casino to watch a show. And, you know, you're out with your friends, you kind of go drinking and kind of get a little obnoxious. And there's a guy approached us, he's in a tuxedo or something, and I thought for sure we were in trouble. So I was telling him, there you go, guys, I told you, we're just way too loud and we're going to get in trouble. But this gentleman took us from the line, there's a long line, into the front of the theater. And he calls the maitre d' and says, put these boys to the VIP seat and give them all free drinks.
And you don't know this guy from Adam?
Not at all. So we couldn't figure it out, so we kind of figured, you know, I guess it pays to be obnoxious and then get you out of the way. So we go enjoy ourselves, watch a show, they, you know, drink more drinks and enjoy.
Of course, they're out to enjoy themselves.
Yeah. And when the show is all over, the maitre d' comes back up to me and he hands me this card and he says, the producer of the show is outside and he saw you and he told me to tell you that you would be a good ETA. I didn't know what an ETA was.
Yeah. No, I don't.
He explained it. He said an Elvis tribute artist. So I was going, oh, Elvis impersonator. He goes, sure. And he said, call this number and see what happens. Well, I pondered upon it, and about maybe a month later, I decided to call this number.
Oh, let's go. Why not?
Yeah.
Now, did you at that time realize that you were kind of looking like Elvis Presley? Had a lot of people really come up to you and said, you know, did you know you looked like Elvis Presley?
Well, my hair was really short. I didn't have the sideburns or nothing like that. But
yeah, but you got the blue eyes.
they did give me the nickname Elvis all the time, but I didn't.
You didn't pay attention to it because well, you're not that type of guy.
Yeah. So, but I called that number just for curiosity, and this lady answered with an English accent and said, "Hello." That was my best English accent.
It's not
and I told her, well, this, you know, and she asked me, where'd you get this number? It's my personal number. I said, well, this dude gave it to me. I decided to call you because, you know, you think I'll be a good entertainer. And she goes, well, I don't know who you are. Send me a video. Click.
And of course, did you have? Of course, he didn't have a video then.
No.
He didn't even know who you didn't even know who you were, except
you
you're a regular working with your pals.
That's right. So about a week later, I go to this karaoke bar, and I hadn't shaved, so I had a scruff, and I sang "If I Can Dream." And one of the guys, same guys that was with me, videotaped it, and you know, I sent it to this lady,
Yes.
and within 1 hour, she called me back and said, "Okay, I'll take you." And that's just
take me for what?
That's what I said. What do we do now?
What are we doing now?
Well, she actually said, in 2 days, I'm sending you to Disneyland. I have a gig for you. And you'll be picked up in a town car, and then the experience started.
Now that's where the whole role. Was this something, because I remember asking your story when your mother, when she was carrying you, she apparently, and I'm fascinated by this story, when she was carrying you, she was a fan of Elvis Presley. And so she had learned something because you're part Filipino.
That's right.
And so she had this photograph of Elvis Presley under her pillow. And she felt that if she had this photograph of Elvis Presley under her pillow, then her baby was going to come out looking like Elvis Presley. Well, hello! How true is this story?
It's very true. My mama told me this, again, about 3.5, 4 years ago when I came up to her and said, Mama, I think I'm going to try and become an Elvis tribute artist. She goes, what's that? I explained it to her. And then she told me the story. She said, son, have a seat, I need to tell you something. I thought maybe I'm the son of the milkman or something like that. But no, she said,
I wrote that.
she said when she was pregnant with me, and she was a big Elvis fan, by the way.
Yes.
and there was, I guess, an old wives' tale that if you sleep with a picture of whomever underneath your pillow and you're pregnant, your unborn child will be born.
We'll take on that picture.
Exactly.
Right now.
And she said she did that almost every day until she gave birth.
And then when she gave birth to you, did she think you looked like Elvis? Because there's not really any pictures out there of Elvis when he was born. I've seen a couple of 4 or 5 year olds, but so she didn't probably.
She didn't mention anything about that, but she did mention about my middle name.
Yeah, he's got a, this is very another ironic thing that happens. So sort of talk about things all falling in place. As I said, I introduced him as Lloyd Aron Douglas. And your middle name, your mother, I don't think she knew Elvis Presley's middle name. And not only did that happen, his middle name is Aaron, also Elvis Presley's middle name is Aaron. But the catch on the whole thing is yours is spelt with one A.
Yes, that's right.
And Elvis Presley was spelt with one A. And I believe that, I can only quote for America, you spell it with 2 A's. So that was something quite ironic. Did she know anything? Well, did you know?
I didn't know anything about it, but she was a big Elvis fan, and she really knew what she was doing.
Well, she sure did. How fast for that one?
and in all reality, she intentionally gave me that middle name, knowing what she was doing. She told me that she didn't want my daddy to get jealous. She really wanted to name me Elvis, but she said that would go over the top.
That would be too much for
Picture,
her husband.
Exactly.
Sleeping with the picture, not her husband. Can you imagine?
And so she said, I gave you the middle name that Elvis had because your daddy never knew it.
So he never knew that you had a middle name.
Exactly.
Did he ever find out?
You know, I never knew because it was never brought up until 3.5 years ago. My daddy passed away.
Before that. So he really didn't know. On that, we're going to take a little break, and we're having a fabulous time with Lloyd. These stories are all true stories. They're just amazing. So, what do you call it? Mind over matter? Well, we're going to be right back with Lloyd. I'm Ninon, your host, and of course we've just been through one segment, and we're going through a second one. And I have Lloyd Aron Douglas with me, and he's just an amazing guy. And this is actually, I don't want to say I knew Elvis Presley. You are so much like him. Have you just studied every single day because you seem like natural. You don't like, it doesn't seem like it's a pretense or a put on. It seems like you fit it. Got that picture, did it? Your mother.
There it is. Well, I spent a lot of time. I was raised in Kentucky and a little time in Arkansas and Florida. So the southern style.
The southern drawl, as I call it, which would be the way the English would say it, the drawl you have, which is like the slow motion, voice. I call it slow motion in action.
Yeah, I've always been fascinated with Elvis ever since I was a little kid. I remember there's a picture of me when I was like 6 years old, and I got this look. So
pretending to be Elvis.
That's right. So it's been going.
Love it. So that's how you kind. So from then on, so kind of from 6 years old, you've had this kind of in your system.
Well, my mom was such a big Elvis fan that she played Elvis music all the time, and my oldest brother thought he was Elvis.
Yeah, he was also telling me another story. He was telling me another story about your brother felt that he should be Elvis.
Yes.
Why were you Elvis? Did he look like Elvis too?
No.
See, that's why he wasn't Elvis.
But he was such a big Elvis fan.
And he thought he had the honor of being Elvis, and he didn't. Were you the little brother?
I'm the youngest.
The youngest.
Out of 9.
Do you know there's 9 of these floating around out there? Are they all looking a little bit like Elvis, or are you the only one that's kind of cultivated this?
I'm kind of different. At times I really think I'm like the son of a milkman or something, seriously.
Well, we never know, will we? Well, I'm not going to go there,
but everybody in my family has a different look, and I kind of tend to, I think, look more like my daddy.
You look more like your daddy. Now, it's funny because when you say your daddy, if I remember rightly, that's exactly how Elvis called his father. He always called him my daddy.
Ever since I remember when I was a little boy, I've always called my daddy, daddy. I never called him anything else. And I've always called my mama, mama.
Mama.
So this is what I
It's
was
something
raised
you're
with.
raised with, but that's what, if I remember rightly, that's quote unquote, so don't quote me on that. But I can ring it out in my ear, you know. If I asked you to sort of do an a cappella, would you do it?
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna have a choice. I want a choice. Blue suede shoes.
Want that?
Yes,
There you go.
because that was when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. Elvis Presley was out, and my favourite song was Blue Suede Shoes. I could just imagine this. Blue Suede Shoes. So here we go.
And the key of D. Well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready now, go, cats, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoes. All you can do is play, but lay off my blue suede shoes. Blue suede shoes, come on, baby. Blue suede shoes. Blue suede shoes, man. Blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything but lay off my blue suede. Bom, 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 bom,
See, that's on the spur of the moment. So this is no pretense right here, because I've got no backers, I've got nothing to help me, like, you know, get into the tune with the music and the whole bit. You just do that just like that. So, okay, so we've got this far. So where do you feel you're going to go on now? I know that you have, and you're going to be doing The Shadow of a King. And I believe that's going to be starting in the new year. And how involved are you in this? I know you're obviously going to be the star, you're obviously going to be the guy out there. But I mean, what is it? Are these performances they're going to do? What are they doing?
They're thinking of a tour, and it's going to be one of the biggest things I've ever done.
And now what is the response you've had with them?
It's crazy. I mean, some of them are absolutely out of this world, and some of them are just, they give me that blank stare. But
Well, they can't believe it. That's why they give the blank stare, because you look at him and it's like a total, I don't want to say reincarnation, but what am I going to say? I mean, you're just like a twin of his, but twins don't sometimes look alike. But you are just, I mean, just so much alike. And on that, we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back and find out a little bit more of what Lloyd Aron Douglas is up to. Welcome back to Lloyd Aron Douglas. I'm interviewing him, and I've never had an interview like this, and it's just amazing. He's kind of keeping me on my toes, because I've got to kind of think back a little bit, because he's kind of the new Elvis Presley, and I'm thinking of the other Elvis Presley, our dear beloved singer, who was absolutely amazing. And I think there's so many people out there, Lloyd, that want to sort of impersonate Elvis Presley, but you seem to have actually got it down, and I guess this is why you have been chosen to do Shadow of a King, and I'm quite sure that they could have gone and got anybody out there, but they've kind of chosen you. And did they make a good choice? Hey, come on tell me. I'm sure they really did, didn't they? But let me just go a little bit into this production thing, because when Elvis had a production, it was no small thing.
that's right.
He had a tremendous audience, number one, and he had all these people around him, but his band and the people around him. So how are we going to achieve, and there's going to be many rehearsals, so are you prepared for that?
I'm going to try to be.
He's going to be prepared. I'm going to be the hegemon. I know you're prepared, and I know you're ready for that. Were you surprised when you were chosen to take this role?
Well, for me it was a big privilege, and it's a blessing, especially when I heard of what this production's all about. Like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be one of the biggest shows I've ever done, and it's going to be one of the biggest shows out there.
Yes.
I'm extremely thrilled.